Well, hello. It is I, Alphinius Goo. Good morning, my friends. You are here on Goo Morning Zyathé with some fairy princess behind the camera. Say hello, fairy princess.
It's not a fairy princess. It is a fairy godmother.
Oh,
I have a wand.
Very good. A wand, yes.
Yes. They say, dress for the job you want. And I am a godmother.
You are.
To my twin nieces.
I do know this.
As Alphinius was my godfather and is my godfather. So I learned from the best.
Well, you look great, cameraman.
Thank you.
Yes. Happy All Hallows Eve or Halloween or...
Do you have your mic on? Did you put your mic on?
Can anybody hear me? Have I been talking and people can't hear me, or can they only hear me just sort of?
Okay. But all that to say, we are doing an uplifting, wonderful stream this
Absolutely. We're going to have fun. Yes.
And Harry says in the chat that All Hallows Eve and Halloween are the same day. So...
Oh.
Yes.
I guess I did not know that.
Yes. And David says, need corrupted wood ideas from the Mournwood. Much love to the Gooey crew. Seriously. And we will be talking about the corrupted wood. I have pulled that from the social media.
Listen, I'm very worried about the corrupted wood. I don't even like the term, actually, when I ponder it for a moment. Yes, it's not a good term at all.
There's a few comments to that effect
as well. Yes, I am sure. Yes, I am certain, because I know the chat is not, they're not, we want to be PG-13, but our chat is not always
Here,
such.
why don't we go ahead and just start with social media while you're pulling stuff up?
I'm ready, so it's good. But
okay.
No, let's do the social media. It's
Okay,
good. Anyway, Halloween is coming up, you all. I hope you're ready to do your trick-or-treating and your partying and all of that stuff, and we are going to try to do a little thing with the kids. We went to the trunk or treat thing yesterday, so it's cameraman. That's where you're going today, as the fairy godmother. Yes,
yes, indeed. I'm going to a trunk or treat.
How did that song go that they sang? They sang the fairy godmothers. They sang a song. Yes.
When you wish upon a star.
Yes, but wasn't there another one that was a little more happy? That was like a dancey
What?
song.
There's nothing happier than when you wish upon a star.
When you wish upon a star.
When you go on a Disney cruise.
Yes.
Which I have not had the pleasure yet of going on a Disney cruise, but it is happening. They literally play that through the whatever the steam thing is. What is that thing?
The smokestack.
Yes. Yes, it is brilliant. It's this horn that just honks it out. It's amazing.
Yeah. Sounds very annoying, actually, to me. Yes. So, David, yes, this was a disturbing post, and I started pondering it, and actually,
No, I love this post. It's such a good post. Will the Mournwood books have suggestions of the effects of using corrupted wood? Because someone will use it, and they will, because if you're an adventurer and you need to make a fire to cook your food. And you're in a forest, what, are you putting it in your bag of holding and carrying it from a different forest?
Well, why not?
It's probably smart, but
Who
some
wants
people
to
don't have
deal
bag
with
of holding.
wood?
What?
Nothing, never mind.
Don't get too, this is PG-13.
I would say never touch corrupted wood. That's what I would say.
Fair enough. But
I would say that if someone has corrupted wood, they should get an inoculation. That's what I
Oh my gosh, okay. Moving away from that, though, to the actual idea of the corrupted forest and and we're going to be talking, by the way, about the
I am the only one on stream. You're not here. You are talking, and I'm looking at the camera, trying to look intelligent or something.
Okay. Well,
yes.
Here, I will switch back to myself.
Good. Yes, you need to do that. Fairy godmother. There you are. Very nice. Yes. So go ahead now.
Okay.
Speak.
I love the idea, though, that there are magical effects written into the campaign guide if someone should choose to make a fire with it. Or, I don't know, there's a whole number of other things that I'm sure people, make a magic wand with corrupted wood.
We might put an appendix. So we might.
Just add it to the list of things that we're trying to finish. Yes. We're in the design phase of the book, so why not
it looks so good.
Why not just redesign everything with more stats and
An
more
appendix
stuff.
might work.
I do think it'd be great, though, because think about all the things, someone had said in the comments, something about making a corrupted chair.
Yes, well, yes, it'd be very interesting.
Yes.
But what about corrupted material components, right? So you're out there harvesting some mint, right? And it's corrupted mint. What is that going to do to your spells? See, these are the kind of things that I think about, that David clearly thinks about as well, that most people don't think about at all, right? So
can we all send Paul our regrets? Paul put this comment in the chat. Dog peed on my terrain.
No. That is corrupted terrain now.
There's nothing worse.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh my God.
Paul, good vibes right now.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Oh, gosh. Hopefully we're bringing a little joy to your morning while you're cleaning that up. And he says he has a game in 2 hours.
Ah, magnificent.
Oh, my goodness.
And thank you all for joining us. Please do subscribe to the channel and do all that stuff. And, if you got a moment, tell some other people about us. We are very excited about things that are coming up, my friends. We are very, very close on releasing the digitals for the Mournwood lore book and GM guide. And Blood for the Con is very close. We have a number of artworks we're still finishing up. We're even doing the bonus map that everybody's getting for free that they didn't know they were getting because I think it was necessary for the Mournwood. And it's going to add so much to Darkenhaven, which is also very close. But we did take a little bit of a push off from Darkenhaven to finish all these Mournwood materials. But we're very close on Darkenhaven as well. So we are really, really getting there. And then here in about 30 days or so, 25 days, we're going to start the Kickstarter for Guys and Gawks.
I'm going to say this about taking breaks, though, sometimes, is that sometimes it's nice to pause on a project like Darkenhaven, because then you're going to come back at it with fresh eyes. You're going to be able to, because when you're in the thick of it,
yes, absolutely,
you can't really see what you're doing. Yes. You're just doing it. So I kind of like that we took a little bit of a step back to make sure, and then we're going to go back at it again, and we're going to be like, this, I really do think it's magnificent.
Oh, I can't
From everything
wait.
I read.
I cannot wait for people, and there's so many contributors that put forth their efforts, and of course, Jens was the lead on that, but we had a whole group of people that were doing different sections of Darkenhaven that helped contribute to it, and then of course, Carrie and AJ and yours truly and a number of others have battled this thing, and we are gonna. It's huge. I mean, the box is over there. It's like almost twice the size of one of our normal adventure boxes. It is massive. It's going to have all kinds of wonderful things therein. And I do believe, as I said many times, I think it's going to be considered one of the greatest fantasy cities ever made for this wonderful game that we play. So anyway, I don't know about this Corrupted Wood thing. I did note that later David said he mostly just wrote this because he wanted to give me crap. So it's.
But I actually think it's a valid
it is.
point. I genuinely think that it's a valid idea that there should be an appendix or just a D100 chart of all these effects. I think that'd be excellent. So.
AJ, you just got another job.
Sorry. I didn't mean to zoom in as much as I did on this.
This was very cute.
Yes. So Brina did this. So I had talked about this weeks ago.
Yes. And I was
or months ago even. And I was I had this idea for this little cartoony thing with people getting sucked into the goo. So anyway, Brina took it and did even more than I was expecting.
Beautiful.
I was just looking for a little scribbly drawing, and she went and just did a whole brilliant thing.
Yeah.
So yeah. So
in fact, camera Mendy, we get to print that out and put that on the wall here somewhere. We got to because it's just.
Oh, I can definitely do that.
Absolutely,
yeah.
We need to frame that and put that on the wall. That's very special thing. And Brina, we thank you. It's magnificent. Yes, it's just wonderful.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure what the girl getting sucked into the little happy goo, whether she's happy. She's kind of got that what the heck am I doing face on. You know what I'm saying?
Well, okay, so this was the thing is it's you're getting sucked into gelatinous cube. And technically I think she should be skeletal probably.
Right,
inside.
and that's what everybody is inside.
But we wanted to show that, it's not a bad thing to get sucked into the goo.
It's a bad thing. It's a bad thing. But in this situation, it's not. But you can see it looks like there's kind of a rave going on inside of the cube.
Exactly. So. It's a party. It's a party in the goo. Anyway, thank you so much, Brina. We love
beautiful.
it. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yes. Okay, let's see here. What's up next?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
So,
Creative Goo.
Yes, I talked about
Gooey
this.
Guild.
Yeah, the YouTube channel.
Switch to you.
Oh, my goodness. It's so much work. Okay, there we go.
Oh, this is a button. You have to reach over and push that button. Camera Mendy. Oh, my poor little finger is getting bursitis. Can you get bursitis in your finger?
Okay, so we got this Gooey Guild channel. There's a few more things I have to add up there. Still, more playlists and stuff like that. But basically, the Gooey Guild channel is a place where you can find the community-made content for Gooey Cube. So a lot of actual plays, all the stuff on here, except for Creative Goo, which I am posting to the YouTube channel, is posted from other people's channels. So Tabletop Misfits has their own channel. And so I went and made playlists of plots in Darkenhaven. They also have hundreds of other episodes.
Oh, yeah.
I did not go through and do all those and add those. If they would like to make a playlist and send it to me, then more than happy. But I mean, they played a homebrew for over a year. every week. There's so many crazy amount of videos. Yeah. So anyway, but basically, if you're just looking for actual plays or interviews with Alphinius, or Rob did this great series from Dungeon Tutor called GM Tips for Gooey Cube.
Yes.
You can find them all now on this channel under Gooey Guild. And then on top of that, I want to shout out Copper Dragon Productions and encourage everyone to go follow them. So they only have the season 1 trailer up, but I've listened to season 1.
Can you play the trailer? Can you do it?
I know I can't play it. I don't know how to. I will figure it out for next week. I'll have them send it to me. I'd have to get the actual video. And the trailer is like 8 minutes long.
It's worth it. I think people will love it.
Yeah, so like they're basically doing it as an audio drama, like the Red Star Rising campaign as an audio drama with like sound effects, with music. Yeah. And so I've listened, they sent me episode 1 and episode 2, and it's sounding really, really cool. I'm really excited to see what they're doing with it all. And it's just like a podcast. So you don't have to watch anything. You just pop it in your ear. And I think it's going to be really cool. Walking through like chapter 1, starting with that. And I'm very excited for what they have coming.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. We cannot wait. So, yes. And thank you for doing this, Camera Mandy. It is wonderful. It is really... Go check it out when you get a chance, my friends. It's got so much wonderful content there. I said wonderful like 14 times.
And we're uploading Creative Goo.
Yes.
And I want to give Harry a shout out. So he did this great episode on Thursday about 3D printing, how to 3D print. And that episode is up on Gooey Guild, and it is genuinely very interesting.
Yeah,
He took videos of himself 3D printing, how it comes out when you first, because you have all these what do you call them? Like supports on there.
Supports.
Yeah, that you have to take off. Anyway, it's super interesting, especially if you're interested in 3D modeling and 3D printing. And I just want to show one of Harry's finishers.
I love these guys. They're all three the same guy. They're all sitting there looking at you. They're like, hey, what are you doing, dude? Yeah, what are you doing, dude? Yeah, what are you doing, dude? Yeah, they're all giving you the look. Yeah, it's a really, really wonderful model.
Yeah, love it. Okay, so from Weigh-In Fair.
Yes, I'm worried about this situation, because it seems like someone is, they're kind of going across the board.
I know,
right?
they're playing the political game.
Yes, that's right. They're trying to appeal to all.
Oh, yes, I know.
Yes. So you can buy one of these signs. Yes, is that correct? And then you can hold up one of these signs whenever you go to a rally. Or
if you're in the world of Zyathé and go to Weigh-In Fair in Zyathé, you certainly can buy one of these signs. They did not put prices up, though. What is this worth? Like 3 copper?
Yeah, it's right. 3 cops. Yes. Yeah, but it has been fun. The shenanigans continue. There was another one posted this morning. There's some kind of
I did not see that.
Yeah, there's some kind of a witness protection program for those. Yeah. Yes, I happened to note that this morning.
Okay. Well, I probably need one of those.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Of course you do. Yes. This is the truth, James.
Yes. Carefully created plot threads, and then there's like the electrical outlet. I'm just describing it for people who aren't watching.
Oh, if you're only listening, yes.
And then the plug is in the wall.
Yes,
Yeah.
It's not, but the thing is, here's the thing. This is why I've structured many, many times, right? I have locations that are on the maps, but I craft locations all the time that I place later, right? Depending on what the characters do, right? And all of that stuff. And it really does change the dynamic, because you don't feel so bad about making things that they didn't experience, right? And it also helps advance the tale, because obviously most game masters have breadcrumbs that they want folks to follow, and they have certain objectives they want them to achieve. And so as you go through the process and of actually gaming, it's nice to be able to have flexibility in encounters, locations, and those kinds of circumstances.
Side note, we had a hype train.
God, we got a hype train again?
Yeah, we got a hype train. I just looked over and I was like, wait, when did we get a hype train?
Hyping up the train. Thank
all
you
so much. Okay.
We always love a good hype train.
But I would argue, though, back to the actual meme.
Yes.
This is what actually makes the stories much richer.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
I totally agree.
Yeah, one person's perspective is fun, but 7 people's perspective is chaos.
Yes. Well, and I've said many times, I believe that there's a very wonderful middle ground between sort of more rote and crafted adventures, and sort of this very make it up as you go along sort of thing, right? I really believe the middle ground is the best way. Again, for me and for my table, right? And I think that if you put in tools and those kinds of things in place and have things available to you, it makes improvisation much easier. It makes keeping the story on some level of your direction that you want to take it as a game master, and that's very important because we prepare, right? We spend a lot of time trying to make an adventure good, and so. But if you give more flexibility to your players, these kinds of tools enable you to do so. And I like to give players flexibility.
I actually think that that's a good segue into this post, which was from Jenny. And basically she says, new to D&D rules, and I'm wondering why thematically druids don't have a spell to raise dead animals to be of assistance. Not in a gross, mean, controlling necromancer kind of way, but in a friendly, hello, dead creature. Would you mind so much to wake up and help me with an important task of valor that will benefit others in need? And then a lot of the comments said that there's a lot of flexibility.
Oh yeah, of course. Well, the thing is, it depends on your table, right?
Yes.
So at my table, there is a class, right? A new class that we're just creating, which we're going to talk about a little bit as we go forward today, right? This is these necrotic druids who serve the 9. And of course, they sort of do reanimate, if you want to call it that, especially the ones in the Mournwood, because they're influenced very much by Nocreos. But part of the creation of character classes, obviously, is not to give everyone the same abilities, right? And so druids can make friends with animals, right? But raising them from the dead is probably more of a necromantic kind of thing, right? And so do you give necromantic powers to a druid? Is that okay? It depends on your table, right? Because that might be very frustrating to the necromancer in the party. Like, how come I don't get to, make plants then? How come I can't talk to plants, right? So I think part of that is the structure of the game to give people their unique abilities and not have everyone be able to do everything, which of course there are many players out there would like to do that, right? And so I'm sort of tread the middle ground on this a little bit as well. There might be something I might do to accommodate a player in this circumstance. There might also be, I might say no. And I'm going to tell you straight up, I think that's okay too as a game master. You want to say yes as much as possible. I really believe that. But there's times when it's okay to say no. And for me, I think that also helps advance the game. But the comments here were fantastic. Again, it's all for your table. It's what works for you, right? What works for you and your players. And if someone wanted to give them a little special ability that would enable them to do something like this, I throw no shade at that whatsoever. So,
my argument would be that it'd be a little bit more difficult with newer players. More advanced players, I think, can handle more homebrew content, but especially when you're first getting acquainted with the rules, and even if you're a newer GM, adding in more rules that you have to keep track of can get a little overwhelming. Yes. So I think it just depends on the person and the table.
Well, and I happen to know Jenny, and I know she pushes the envelope.
Oh.
Yes. Jenny, I know you do. Yes, I do.
That's hilarious.
Jenny is marvelous. We met her long, long ago, right, in Marvelous Christopher, and they actually came out and visited us, if you might remember that.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Oh, yeah. We went to ice cream with the kids. It was wonderful.
Nice.
Good time.
Nice.
Okay, this was spectacular. I have to give James tremendous credit for this. I've never seen it before. And we're not going to do a treatise on it because that's what it would take. But if you haven't looked at this, you've got to go look at this. You've got to
we hit level 2, by the way, hype train, which
level 2 in the hype train,
which I think makes sense given the fact that we have Bilbo on the screen.
Yes, Bilbo. Yes, very
good.
Yes. But this was so funny and wonderful, and I really had to ponder it quite a bit. I actually read it 2 times. I actually kind of sat there and pondered it for a little bit. So if you like this kind of goofy trivia, this is definitely up your alley.
Yeah, I thought it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's
yes.
really good. Yes.
And we all know that quote,
Yes, well, we all know it. None of us can ever repeat it correctly.
Yeah, whatever the...
I don't know half of you half as well as I should like, and I like less than half of you half as well as you deserve. Yes. Right. Okay, yes, this actually created some controversy in the den because there were some people who thought this was a grenadier figure and some that thought it was a Raupartha.
Oh my God, the fights that ensued.
And it had so much paint on it that Chris couldn't discover it. Now, I happen to know it was a Raupartha figure. I did know it because one of the first ones that I ever purchased. So these were the Raupartha orcs. But there was some confusion as to whether it could be Grenadier as well, right? Because Grenadier also did some marvelous orcs that were kind of similar to this one. And I happen to have bought those as well, right? And painted them, not as well as I had painted later in my career. But Chris took all the paint off and indeed did prove that it was a Raupartha figure. So all of those who were on the side of the Grenadier, had to eat humble pie and whatever.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
No, I'm just kidding. It was fun. It was a fun little chat and wonderful to see pictures that were posted and think about these old miniatures that because the Raupartha, the Grenadier orcs that were posted had these big heads and were really, really fun. And one of the nicer early sculpt sets that Grenadier did, I really, really liked them. So it was a lot of fun to see this, Chris, and I always appreciate Chris's posts. He puts up really fun and interesting things.
That's awesome.
Uh-huh.
Okay, from Todd, we had a fall scenescape, which I thought was very beautiful.
Really wonderful. If you didn't go through the slides, you need to go through the slides because each one of them is wonderful. Just a great picture of a wonderful tabletop. So.
And I had to give.
Yeah, of course, Thomas's puppers.
So he's trying to paint minis.
Yes, he's like, hey, what are you doing?
What are you doing? Pay attention to me.
Hey, look at me.
You kind of look like him. Yeah.
Hey, what are you doing?
Somehow it's not as endearing. Yeah.
Yeah, really cute. Yeah, really, really adorable. And look at all the
my goodness, wait. Wow, there's a lot of subs that just happened. Aw, Captain Shenanigans, Marcus, gifted 10 tier 1 subs.
Thank you, Marcus.
Thank you so much. I was like, wow, I missed a lot of things. Thank you so much. Oh, I got subscribed. Camera Mandy just subscribed. Thank you.
Camera Mandy.
Oh, you are the best.
Well, we actually have some really fun plans that we are moving towards in Goo Morning Zyathé after the first of the year. And so we got some stuff we're going to do and add to this stream and hopefully really make it even better than it's been. And hopefully y'all, you keep coming. So I assume that we're doing something at least sort of right.
Yes.
So, but anyway, adorable. And then, of course, Christina did this, right? Which is wonderful, just so fun. And that's isn't that the old original artwork that she did? I think it's
our artwork, but with the face from her.
Yeah, she put the face from her.
From her face, yeah.
From
where do you have them? Yes.
Ha Christina.
Yes.
Near and dear to my heart. Mwah, 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 right next to me. Yes.
Okay, this is our last social media for the day.
Okay.
Okay, now we got to talk about Joe Adams.
Yes, cut to you.
Okay, well.
Push that button, Camera Mandy.
Okay. So Joe was actually supposed to be on our show to promote his Kickstarter the week that we went live right after David had passed. And so we didn't feel, that was when we were talking about losing loved ones, and we just felt like it would not be the right time or vibe to have someone come on the show when we were on the stream crying and commiserating. So, but unfortunately, just due to the circumstance, Joe's Kickstarter is going to end before he gets to come on the stream. And so I just wanted to...
He's going to do late pledging, though, I believe. So we will be able to give him a little bit
He's
of support.
very close to getting his Kickstarter. He's like, I think, less than $3,000 away from getting it. And what Joe does, he is a cinematographer in Hollywood. And he does beautiful videos. I've seen his reel. It's amazing. He's a very talented cinematographer. But he's also a huge D&Der and loves game mastering and loves miniatures, loves lighting miniatures, loves terrain.
Yes.
And so he's attempting to put together a Kickstarter that's is a show. So he's trying to just fund the first 2 episodes of his show that is like... I believe he's going to use minis and terrain to tell a story.
Yes.
And it sounds very interesting and something that I haven't ever seen before. And it's all independently supported. This is not like any studio production. This is just a bunch of people who love D&D, who are talented filmmakers, who are trying to get together to make something happen.
Yes, I plan on throwing a little money at it too.
I also did. I also backed as well.
And I'm a big Kickstarter backer. You know that,
Yeah.
Cameron Mendy. I like to try to help these little, creators and stuff that are out there.
Well, I mean, he does have some tiers. This is one of those things, is that he does have some tiers where you can get like some like swag or, stuff, but you don't really get like a physical product necessarily from this. This to me is one of my favorite things, is just supporting someone who has a vision.
Yes.
And you don't necessarily get like, something to put on your bookshelf necessarily or anything like that, but you help create something special.
Yes.
And so anyway, I just wanted to take a second to promote this. It's called The Dice Decide. He is so close to his goal of $15,000. And I really hope he makes it, because
he's going to make it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, if the Kickstarter algorithms work the way they work, it's not algorithms, but process.
He's like in the last 5 days of the Kickstarter.
The last 5 days, he should get about the same as he got the first day or two, or in the middle.
Yeah.
It's like a third, right? This tends to be how it works. So
Yeah.
the only thing here is that because there's a lot of people wait to see how stretch goals go, and I don't know how his stretch goals work. So that could be impact it a little bit. But I'm almost sure he's going to make it. So
yeah.
so Cameron Mendy, speaking of cinematography,
What?
we should really show the Guys and Gags video that you did.
Oh, it's not ready yet.
It's ready enough.
No, I have a copyrighted image in there. We can't show it.
Just put your hand over the camera at that exact moment.
I don't have it available.
All right.
We will show it next week when it's completely finished, and to make sure that we don't get copyright checked.
Luke was laughing 3 or 4 times as he watched it. So
So basically what Alphinius is talking about right now is that we shot at Genghis Con in February with Luke. We went up to the lounge at Genghis, and we just spent like 20 minutes shooting a little promo, and there was nothing scripted. It was totally off the cuff, and it is really fun to watch how Alphinius and Luke bounce back.
Fun.
It's like just like 2 game masters, and it's exactly what you'd expect from 2 people who are really good at improving. So
it was much fun.
Yeah. So, but next week we will show that, and we'll also be getting a page up where people can pre-register for Kickstarter.
Yes, and this one we want to tell a lot of people about. It's going to be very, very special. Cameron Mendy.
What?
The image that I got yesterday.
Yes, that's the one.
You haven't seen this?
There's a new one.
I'm going to email it to you right now.
Oh, well, okay.
Yeah, maybe we'll show it.
Oh my gosh, you can't tease people this way.
Maybe
also, we should show it because I have a confession, and I did something bad.
What did you do bad?
I definitely forgot to put together the giveaway so we could actually roll a winner for after making such a big deal about how we were going to do it this week and like how I didn't want to put it off another week.
So we give everybody another chance to enter who's here, though.
Yes,
so that at least does that.
So why don't we go ahead and put hashtag LLL and hashtag maps into the chat again. And I want to say my deepest apologies for messing that up. So I did my best, but I got a little crazy at the end of the week.
Yeah, you got to show this.
Okay.
But you got to put a copyright on it.
Well, you have to send it to my Mandy McNabb one.
Why?
Because that's the one I'm logged into here. So anyway, this wonderful production budget, or low budget production. Okay, while he's doing that, I'm going to show something that Chelsea sent us.
Oh, Chelsea, magnificent. Yes, you said you showed a picture of it last time, but you brought it in this time, yes?
Yes, where the welcome is as sticky as a Gooey Cube, but with way less slime. And then she made stickers. She sent me like a whole package. It was like crazy.
Chelsea, yeah. The thing that's amazing to me, Cameron Mendy, when you really think about it, and you watch what people post, and all of this, turn it over, you got it backwards.
I know.
And all of this that they do, you realize how many incredibly creative and talented people are in the Gooey Den. And I want to tell you straight up, I do believe, isn't that beautiful?
This is the, hold up the goo right there. Can you grab that jar? It's right in the front of your desk.
Oh, yes, the gooey jar.
Sure.
Yes.
So that's ooze, gooey ooze. And there's like swords and treasure inside of there.
Yeah, you have to kind of shake it up a little bit.
She said that if you use an infrared light, which I don't have, you can, like, it's like a secret, like, thing. I don't know. I didn't bring the card, but yes.
I wonder if it's drinkable.
Please don't.
I'm going to put it right here.
And in tragic news, Alphinius Goo got gooed.
No longer. It's the gooey.
Yeah. Anyway, Chelsea, this is like seriously amazing. This was the surprise that she put into, like when I had purchased something from her, she had already been working on this beautiful piece of art. And
that's another thing we get to frame and put up here in the studio.
Absolutely.
Chelsea, thank you.
Yes, thank you so much.
Marvelous, marvelous, marvelous. All right, so I did just send it to you.
Okay.
And you have to take a peek at it. And it won't mean as much to you as it will mean to the old timers who are around here. But we have the cover of Geisengax, the environs, right, which is going to be on the box set, which has all of the campaign stuff. But we needed a cover for the tomb of Geisengax.
So good.
And the cover of the tomb of Geisengax is the adventure where they actually go to the keep and experience some things there. So we're very excited about this. Luke and I have been collaborating a lot already. And you better make it big. Did you put a copyright on it?
Oh, hold on.
It's all right. It'll be all right. Look at that. And for all you old timers, I hope you like it. Because it is a very, very fun little Easter egg that's going on right there. Yes, very, very nice. So we will see what we will see as we progress forward with the Tomb of Geisengax and the Kickstarter we are doing with Luke here in the next month or so.
So we have a first-time chat from a raider, Troll Lord Games, and he goes, "Trollza!" Like, huzzah! But
Trollza! Trollza! Trollza!
It is a beautiful piece of art. So, yeah. Awesome.
There's a lot of fun going on right there. So we're excited for it. All right, Cameramandy.
Okay.
What's next?
Well, I think we will move into our Mournwood discussion.
So do you want me to do the reading first, or do you want to do the slides first?
Let's do the slides first. Let's kind of talk about what is happening here.
So let me do the reading, Cameron.
Oh, you're going to just do the reading?
Just do the reading.
Sorry, I'm going to just adjust you on the screen while everyone's watching.
We don't need adjustments.
I just can't handle that you're not centered.
Oh, my Lord.
There we go. The problem is he doesn't come in enough time for me to do this before he gets there. All right, let me cut to you really quickly, and then we'll...
So now we remember, right, that the last reading that we did, of course, there was this plot by Drunge.
We have like a lot of new people here because I think we got raided.
Well, hello, raiders. Welcome.
We got raided by Troll Lord Games. They're the ones who raided us. I am so excited right now.
Troll Lord Games. I have bought more than a few of your products through the years, my friends, and appreciate you.
For anyone who doesn't know, this is Alphinius Goo of Gooey Cube.
I am indeed.
And we are a publisher of 5th edition content, the finest of its kind.
Just about as good as Troll Lord Games.
Sorry.
Right there. It is good to have you. Let me read this now. But I'm going to go back just a moment, right? So we said, in the aftermath, Thealos the goddess, her body lay upon the ground, fractured, scorched, and torn asunder. Indeed, the goddess of martyrs had fulfilled the measure of her creation and principle by sacrificing herself to protect those she loved. And in the moments that followed, all fighting stopped as the cosmos lay in awed silence while the essence of Thealos faded, another of the gods to die. Indeed, Thealos would not be alone. For in the end, 8 gods would perish in the terrible conflict. Andreana, Aromar, Sabrine, Verdana, Flemerish, Slajiv, and even Sylvain, leader of the gods of goodness. All of these would perish during the gods' war. Sylvain, slain at the hands of the 4 lords themselves. And verily, my children, those who were ordained as immortals by the Creator himself, came to know that they were not. And the next section is called The Maker Awakens. Nearly too late, Avova arose from his slumber and grieved at the state of his creation. He came forth filled with immeasurable anger and fully intent on destroying the 4 interlopers who were poisoning and debasing all that he had made. But after engaging in battle with the Lords of Corruption for longer than any could imagine, it became clear to Avo-Va that he could not defeat them. Indeed, it was possible that he would lose. And so, in a desperate gamble, Avo-Va fled from the conflict and merged his life essence with the Zyathés, which is magic in the world of Zyathé, purging it of the filth of corruption and enhancing its power significantly. He then used the radically enhanced magical flow to imprison the Lords of Corruption in the Never Place, where they would remain for an eternity with no escape. Then, as his life dwindled, he gathered as much deific animus as he could to recreate the 8 gods who had been slain. These gods did not return as they had once been, but were different, missing portions of their vital essence. But nonetheless they lived again, and the balance of the creation was restored. Thereafter, with naught but a whimper, Avo-Va was no more. Indeed, he was the last and greatest of the immortal beings to perish in the Gods' War, bringing the number of the fallen to 9. The Eterniverse, while greatly healed by the sacrifice of Avo-Va, would never be the same. Though the Netherflow had been sealed off from the rest of the Zyathés, its debasing influence could not be entirely removed from all things, and many scars remained in the Eterniverse and upon the life world. Yea, my children, Avo-Va had saved the creation, but at the greatest cost ever known. And the next chapter is called A New Day Dawning, and we shall read it next week on Goo Morning Zyathé. What do you think of that, Cameraman?
Okay. I know I should know this already.
Yes.
But, so why did you guys decide to go so heavily into the gods in the Mournwood?
So, okay, I will delve. That's a good question. So, the 9, who is Oava'o, 9 but 1, have chosen locations, places upon the life world, as well as in the planes, where they are beginning to infiltrate, to remake all things. Because the goal of Oava'o is to bring creation back to the mistake that was made by Avo-Va when the 4 lords were created unintentionally at the beginning. And the Mournwood happens to be one of those locations upon the planet where Oava'o has begun to assert their influence. And that is why the Mournwood is as it is.
Okay. Well, that kind of transitions perfectly into the monsters of the Mournwood.
So we must understand, when we talk about the monsters of the Mournwood, by the way, I love this image, Cameraman, an excellent Photoshop work to add to it. It was already, this was actually a stock image that we purchased. Every once in a while we do that when we find an image that we really love. And by the way, stock image for the most part are artists. So we are still supporting artists, not machines, which we're very committed to. But I love this image. Of course, I just took part of the image for this, but the whole image is fabulous and actually represents Anufoza, who is a most fearful individual in the Mournwood campaign. So the monsters of the Mournwood, you have to understand, the Mournwood is a very intriguing place because it has the normal influences of the gods, especially and in particular Verdaus and Falnealasa, who are the woodland god and goddess, and as well as others, right, that have influence in sort of natural places and wonderful places, right? And so that is first and foremost. But then you also, because long before the Woe of Ruin, there was this magnificent edifice there, this castle, this very large castle that is now called Edelin, which was a seat of the Eternic Empire, and much magic, high magic, was used there, which now, of course, because the high magics are corrupted, is now seeping that corruption into the Mournwood, and has been doing so for nearly for over 1,200 annums. And then lastly, of course, we have the newcomers, and we'll read more about this. I can't wait to read some of more of these things to people. but the newcomers who are part of Oava'o. And we will learn here as I continue to read about the traitor god and other things that are happening in the cosmos that affect this area and, of course, the entirety of the lore of Zyathé. So when you talk about monsters of the Mournwood, you have different things going on. You have the natural creatures, the more natural ones, and then you have ones that are being influenced by corruption, you have ones that are being influenced by the Oava'o, and so you have this wonderful stew, an amazing place that you can bring your players to meet all kinds of nefarious and fearful things. So let us take a little peek and see what we got here. So owlbears, right, and bears and squirrels and other things like that are also not uncommon in the Mournwood.
Are they corrupted in any way?
Some, depending on where they are. Because the Mournwood really has 4 different sections, if you will, regions. And the southern fringe is the least corrupted by the edges of the forest in general are the least corrupted by the things that are going on there. And so the southern fringe in particular actually has some habitation and places where people abide. And then as you move more into the Hadion, which is the Wailing Expanse, or you move into the North Dark, or you move into the Shadow Vale, which is the most fearful place, you find other monsters. So the more natural creatures and monsters that we sort of expect in the world are here. So giant spiders abide in this area, and I love this artwork by Kishore. We've used it as a handout in the Mournwood. People will, I think, just love the entire. This isn't even the entirety of the picture, but it really gives you an idea of them skittering around. You know what I'm saying? And just you think of them maybe moving slowly, but I always watch spiders when I think about them, and I always think giant spiders would move fast, right? They come at you quickly, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think even small spiders move very fast.
That was a revelation, right? So you can see this is a corrupted snake. You can see it has multiple eyes. Its tail is split and all of that, and it's not a small thing. This is
the baby.
Yeah, this right. So this thing could bite your face, right, Camera Mendy? So, and of course it doesn't have just fangs like a snake. It's got these teeth. It's just it's a wonderful image.
Welcome, Raiders, also from the Bactar.
You are back, my friends. Hello, and thank you. Thank you,
Yes.
Katie, you especially, for your kind words and the dear things you were saying to me in messages. I appreciate you so much.
Yeah.
Let's keep going. So, this one is an image that I really love. It's these wolves that are sort of being redone and remade. And the interesting thing that you're going to find out about as you learn about the Mournwood is there's sort of this mix between life and undeath. And that is because of the influence of Norcreus, who is the traitor god. And so it really is making for a wonderful experience that is sort of different than I think you might experience with just, sort of traditional undead. So let's keep going. Yes, the necrobloom worms, right? So these are cultured and even potentially cultivated by the necrosic druids.
I don't like just calling this a worm.
Yes.
This is
nasty.
It seems large.
It's large. It's 12, 15, 20 feet. It's not huge like a monstrous thing, but it's big enough to swallow.
If you poke these like little green pockets, are you going to get
little
popped with
bubbles.
something?
There's little bubbles on the floor.
It seems like acidic.
Pustulous.
Yes.
Yeah, ooh, pustulous. What a wonderful word. Let's keep going.
Sorry, I literally have goosebumps right now.
Yes. And
Is this the same? Is this
no,
the same
no.
thing?
This is a different creature.
Okay.
This is goodness gracious! It's right there on the slide title, Mandy. Forgive me.
Necritis.
Necritis. That's correct. Thank you. And it is a larger creature, and it is a different type of worm. But there are a number of them that are in the Mournwood and are found elsewhere, actually, because this influence of Oava'o is happening all over the globe.
Look at these teeth.
Yeah, I know. This got a little bit of Stranger Things vibe to me. I really like Benjo did this one.
But I also like the color.
Oh no, excuse me, Anga did this one.
Purple's my favorite color.
Yeah,
I still would not want to run into this.
No,
thing,
of course not. And then, of course, there are plant creatures as well. There are animated plant creatures. This is a hydratic vine, and it is a really wonderful, another one by Anga that I really like. And And most of these you're going to be getting in your Mournwood package to show players when they experience them, which I'm very excited about, because I do think it really adds to the tale to show artworks to people, because a picture truly is worth 1,000 words. Keep going, Cameramandy. Oh, yes. And this is called a remind me, Cameramandy.
Nixtrica.
Nixtrica, yes. And so this is actually, even though it appears to be worm-like, it is really a plant creature. And I love this thing, and can't wait to have your players experience one of these as well.
I like the split tongue.
Oh, yeah. It's really good. It's really, really good.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes.
And you have stat blocks for all these?
So this thing is actually mentioned in This thing is mentioned in the Truth Lies, the Secrets Most Dire book.
The Player's Guide.
Yes, the Player's Guide. This thing is actually mentioned, so.
Nice.
Very cool. So this is the interesting thing, right? So there's undeath, right, in the Mournwood, but it is not traditional at all. So these moss creeper zombies, these things are very, very scary. And have a whole different vibe to them than just a normal average run-of-the-mill zombie, right? Or average run-of-the-mill walker. And of course, if you've been around the world of Zyathé, you know we have a multitude of zombie-type creatures because we love verisimilitude. And our walkers, as we call them, some of them have different powers and different things that they do. So you see a zombie shambling up to you, and you might, in some games, think, "Oh, I know exactly what that thing's going to do." But in the world of Zyathé, you don't. So we kind of like that, right? Yes. Oh, and then this one. Yes, this was done by, I believe, Benjo did this one. It might have been
What is the thing coming out of its stomach?
So this is part of the remaking. This is the thing that is going on in the Mournwood. And this is a Trent that is different than it was before the coming of the necrotic druids. Yes.
So,
isn't that marvelous?
And
of course, the most monstrous. Sorry, go ahead. What are you going to say?
I was just saying, in the eyes of the gods who are creating these things or warping them, right?
So the Oava'o, yes. So the gods don't like it. Right. So this is the one. So again, as we embark upon any kind of a wonderful tale, right, it is marvelous to have not just conflict between sort of more small things. It is marvelous to have conflict with big things, right? And so what we have set up in the world of Zyathé from a tale-telling standpoint is sort of three very powerful entities, if you want to collectively talk about them. We have the gods made by the dead Avova. We have the four lords of corruption, very powerful, but still hindered because even though the Never Place's walls have been cracked, they still can reach out now, right? Which they could not before. And then, of course, now we have the newcomer. We have Oava'o. All three with very significantly different objectives that are conflictive with each other, which sets us up for this marvelous lore.
All right, so tell us about the necrotic druid.
Well, we'll do that next time.
Oh.
But this is the worst of the monsters in the Mournwood, probably, right?
I mean, would we call it a monster? Is it a he?
Well, monstrous.
Monstrous, yes.
Many of us have called people monsters. Yes, it is the necrotic druids. And we will talk about sort of the factions probably next week. We'll talk about the Vidrasin, and people will learn about Bendar Grainfeather. And we will talk about a little bit more about Anufosa, who we saw a picture of, right? And we will talk about the Cult of the Phoenix and a few others as we continue on this little path that we are on. So
Patrick says, seriously feels like the foliage vault in Fallout New Vegas.
Oh, I haven't looked. I need to check it out. Patrick, yes, because I love art, right? It's just so wonderful to experience, artworks. That's why I love it when people post up these beautiful photographs of interesting places in the den. That's why I love when people make sure you credit people for their photography or their artworks, right? We don't post anything without giving appropriate credit.
What is going on in the chat right now? They are talking about squirrels, something about sugar gliders. numbers.
Listen, I don't know because I can't see it, right? But I'm glad I appreciate all you crazy people coming and hype training and hanging out with us this morning.
I'm going to read you some questions. Okay, so it is a mutated plant while it was infested with parasites.
Ah, very nice. From the fallout, is that what we're talking about?
No, I think that was one of your plants.
Oh,
I'm going back and reading some of the...
Yes. Oh, you're talking, it's the goo, the gooey blobs.
I feel that being corrupted probably burns somewhat like eating a ghost pepper. This is Chris. Okay. I don't know what's going on with the squirrel conversation. Squirrels can be deadly when cornered.
So we have night climbers, right? So we have carnivorous squirrels called night climbers that are about a foot and a half, 2 foot in length, not including their tails, and they come out of the trees and they eat your face. Yes, that's what they do.
Okay, Geeky Hoodie summoned it up for me. Dire squirrel bears are requested.
Squirrel bears.
Squirrel
bears.
Anyway, well, it's looking like everything's kind of coming together. Do you want to give an update on where we're at with the books?
Yes.
And the Blood for the Con and just the whole
So
thing?
I've been putting up pictures. So what we have done is we changed up what we were going to do. And we're probably going to do this with our regional materials from now on. So originally we were just going to do a single book for the Mournwood campaign. And it really came clear to us that to run a good campaign, we had to do it similar to Darkenhaven. So Darkenhaven has, similar to our adventures, a lore book, right? It has a locations book, and it has a Game Master reference book, right? And so that's what we're doing with the Mournwood. You'll get 2 books in the box, not one. In the package, not one. And that one will be sort of covering all of the locations and have all of that information. The other will have all these encounters and events and happenings and rumors and lore, just like we would do with any adventure, because it really is an adventure, right? Versus a lore book, which is more really background. And so that we made the decision as we were going through it. You'll have all these wonderful artworks and more are being done. We obviously have the 2 bonus side quest adventures that are really both have come together marvelously. They'll be the last things that we produce probably. We are almost done with both the Mournwood lore book and the Mournwood GM reference. We are, with a little fortune, we will be very close to done with the adventure book for Blood for the Con and much of the Game Master reference book for Blood for the Con. Virtually all of the handout and artworks for the Mournwood campaign and Blood for the Con are done. Virtually all the magic items are done. Virtually all of the Gooey Rewards cards, the character portraits, we added quite a number of them, even beyond what we promised in the Kickstarter. Can't wait for you to know the Vidrasen. I think you're going to love them, those who walk in the shadow. I think you're going to really like them. Of course, Anufosa is a wonderful, vile antagonist. We have Savilicus Fireheart, who is another wonderful and terrifying nemesis. And then, of course, we have an interesting Thuul that has come to the Mournwood and some other things that are going on in there that I think you're going to very much enjoy. So we are getting very close on all of the Mournwood campaign. I'd hoped we would actually drop digitals here Friday or Monday. I think we're going to miss that by just a couple of days, but I think we'll be dropping digitals. The maps, by the way, the 2 maps that adjoin the Darkenhaven map are done. And they look magnificent. Some of you who are in the den have seen pictures of those. Edvard is spectacular and has done such a wonderful work. And we are in the process of doing the entire Mournwood region. So that is another decision that we made because we'd never done a regional map before. So we made a decision that our regional maps will be 1 inch equals 1 mile. So now we have our close-up maps, which are the scale of like Darkenhaven or some of the towns. And now we have our regional map, which is 1 inch equals a mile. And then we have our continental maps, which you all have seen, which I think is 1 inch equals 20 or 25 miles. I can't remember off the top of my head. And then, of course, we have the continental map. So we've established all of that scale with the creation of the Mournwood, and I can't wait for you to get that bonus map, which is also a freebie that we're just adding in that we didn't promise, but we want to do that. It really needed it. So again, for those of you who back our Kickstarters, you know how we are. We are not so bound by page counts and sort of things like that. If we feel we need to add more in, like corrupted wood appendix, Kemramendi. Like the corrupted wood
it's a very valid, it's just a valid
But it's not just corrupted wood. What about corrupted dirt?
That's true. Maybe we should do everything.
What about corrupted mint? That's what I said. You come by, and you're like, oh, look, there's some mint. Wonder why it has that purpley green.
I think you should just
tinge.
do a nature appendix.
Nature, okay.
Yeah, just do, or like I said, a chart that with the 100 weird things that could happen, because it's always fun to roll a D100.
I don't disagree with that.
So, yeah, anyway, I think that would be excellent. I think that would be a way to appease everyone. Yeah. Mushrooms.
Yes, that's what
Corrupted mushrooms.
Yeah, talk about a trip right there. Yes, all of you shroomies out there.
Oh, my gosh. Well,
we just went to the drugs. All right, my friends, listen, this is it for today.
Yes.
Thank you. A most wonderful and happy All Hallows Eve.
Please post your pictures.
Yes, we want to see your costumes.
In the den, post them in the Discord.
Yes,
I know last year we did
yes.
a contest, but we didn't have the time to put one together this year.
We
But
can still do it. We could put up a thing.
I am too.
All I have to do is just put up a post and say, post your
I
costume.
haven't even announced the winner of our snail contest.
Oh, the snail contest.
I know. I literally have it on a Post-it note.
Camera Mandy, I think most people will give us a little pass for
Yeah,
the
I
last
know.
3 or 4 weeks.
So anyway, I want to see all the costumes though.
Yes,
So
absolutely. Post your
Anyway.
costumes. We'll put up some posts. Much love to you all. Thank you for your friendship, your support, all of the things that you've done to help make Gooey Cube special. And thanks to all the hypers who come along, Troll Lord Games. Love you, magnificent. Right to Victoria. Yes.
okay, Patrick says just announce now, and I'll just say which one it was. It's for the Mournwood snail, the beautiful Mournwood snail.
Do you want to announce it?
I'm gonna just announce it.
All right, announce
there
it.
was really no debate on it. I would be
Drum
honest.
roll, please.
It was Dennis with Escargot.
Escargot, Dennis. I think you put an apostrophe in there. Too.
I know, it was
Escargot.
It was really good.
Yes,
everyone, I mean, he put that up early on, and like hands down, it's like it is going to take something amazing to unseat this one. And everyone did. Don't get me wrong.
They were great names.
Great names.
Great names.
Like
this is the problem, right?
Yeah.
You had 20 up there, and you're like, all 20 of these are really good,
Yes.
right? And how do you choose, right?
But I mean, Escargot. I mean.
Yeah, no, they had multiple layers.
Yes, just.
It was like an ogre.
Mwah, mwah. Okay. Anyway.
An onion. All right, my friends. Have yourself a wonderful rest of your day. Be safe this week. You know, don't imbibe too much and get behind the wheel of cars and all of that kind of stuff. You know, don't eat too much candy, especially those of you whose blood sugar gets a little spiky. Okay, and from all of us at Gooey Cube to all of you, may all your adventures and your Halloween be sticky. Ha ha.